heart.
I don't identify myself as a black person anymore. I identify myself as a Jamaican person.
I mean, I've always identified as a Grenadian.
American one, and I'm not black. Everybody was shocked at that statement. Like, you're not black? What are you then? Like, I'm a person. What is black? So what are you? Yellow, like lemonish green? What is
with?
It's difficult because I don't identify as being black. Also, like I was...
I'm not black, I'm African.
They're not black?
No. It's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? I came in a plane, they came in chains. I'm passenger in their cargo.
And I was 17 to go to college. So I will start off with the fact that I never really saw myself as a black person growing up. I still don't. Of course, it's something.
I'm not black. This is black. I'm not black. I'm not African either. I live in Africa. I'm Somali. I speak Somali. This is my flag.
I don't like this. Like, why are you telling me I have to do this because I'm black when it's been already pointed out that I'm Haitian? Why do I now have to submit to this idea of being black? That makes absolutely no sense to me. And that's what you don't get. A lot of people are...
Black. I have never and will never identify myself as black. And I'll elaborate as to why I'm saying this, because this is needed in so you can pretty much understand that just because I look like you, that does not mean I identify myself as such. So for instance, sweetheart, I am Congolese.
The world is colorblind. I'm not a black man. Look at my face. I'm more like brown.
And
I'm not black. Let me say that again. I am not black, okay? Hear me out. Growing up, my mom absolutely hated when we refer to ourselves as black. She's like, you're not black, you're Nigerian.
All right. Welcome once again to the Independent Black Voice. I'm your host, beatzillapdx official. We are here on a Wednesday evening. We are here a little earlier than normal. And this is not a tape delay. This is live. We are off camera today because it is 100 degrees in Portland today. And so we're not turning on the lights. Hope you guys understand. So, yeah, we rolling like that today. So we doing this in the dark, and so you really would not be able to see me, but peace and salutations to everybody tuning in. As you are coming in, like and share. If you're watching on X, make sure you share this out. If you're watching here on YouTube, make sure you share this out. If you're on X, come on over here to the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to the Independent Black Voice. You also might be able to find me under beatzillapdx official. But here we talk about the Black agenda. And that is specifically the foundational Black American agenda, the freedmen agenda. And, we are going to examine some things today. Dark-skinned brother in the building. What's going on, my good brother? Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a member as well. And you said it's 93 here in... How y'all cooler than us, man? That's Greenville, Mississippi. We're hotter than Greenville, Mississippi. This is the Northwest. We ain't used to all this madness up here, man. We are not used to this up here, brother. And it is smoking up here today, too, fam. Thank you for being here, our good brother. Woo. Yeah, like you said, it's hotter in the north than it is in the south. That's the truth today. It's cooking, brother. It is cooking. Rhonda Smith in the building. Welcome. Hello, all. Happy Wednesday. Yes, indeed. Happy Wednesday to you. And as you guys are coming on in, let me see. Because one thing, going on multiple platforms, you don't really get a chance to see who's all watching from what platform. But as we were coming in, like I said, you guys are watching on X, come on over here to the YouTube channel. And if you're on Facebook, which probably few people are because I'm barely ever on Facebook, but come on over here to the YouTube channel. That's why I'm broadcasting this live and direct to you. And we have Sister Amaria in the building. Greetings, Black First family. Yes, indeed. Thank you for being here. Yaquaba, I believe that is. Just found your channel from Florida. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you being here. So today, we are going to talk a little bit about the pan-Africanists kind of losing their minds over this Essence Fest, and it's kind of exposing some things. And so there's been a lot of agendas going on these back rooms, and it's very interesting. You all can see the picture on the screen, right? Y'all see right there underneath the chat that's on the screen. I mean, just put this in perspective. This picture is not from last year. This picture's from last week. So when all of these guys, especially Roland Martin, was out here calling out the black preachers with Jamal Bryant actually did sit this one out, which, it's funny watching Roland Martin, who was all those punk ass preachers, all those punk ass preachers. And then here you are sitting up here with Richie Lou and Al Sharpton. And so also family, hold on. Do I have those? Let me see something. Because again, when certain things pop up, that's kind of red flag in my mind. So I start looking at things like, let me look this up. Okay, I got some things I need to. Where are those pictures? I didn't load none of them. Okay, guess I did not. You know what I can do though? I want to show y'all something. So in this conversation to where all of these pan-Africanists and suspected tethers are losing their minds, there's also Africans that have came out and made posts themselves. Because see, the people who are here, they're doing the collaborative thing, the collaborator thing. So right now, you kind of have to just chalk it up to the third world lion thing. Because Richie Lou, who's a Liberian, and then the other tether that he had as the CEO, they are trying to portray their debacle or failed debacle at Essence Fest this year as, it's a one-off. Family, this has been a trend with Essence and Richie Lou. And it's a deeper conspiracy now that we start getting into it. And the one thing that I'm noticing is, and our family, see what's so crazy is it all just kind of works out, because I started looking at these pan-Africanists like, hold on, y'all got to be taking money from them folks. And I mean them folks over there in Netanyahu land. So, because some of the things they doing, it's like, yeah, that's very democratic. Since when did pan-Africanists, or should pan-Africanists, have the exact same agenda and talking points as Democratic shields? That doesn't really make any sense now, does it? Unless there's really something afoot. And I see we got our resident pan-Africanist in the chat. Kwame is here. The Organization of Afro-American Unity, OAAU, was a pan-Africanist organization founded by Malcolm X in 1964. And the one thing about certain aspects of the past, Maxwell Jenkins, what's going on, my good brother? Thank you for being here. What you have is understanding what worked for the moment or what may have actually been a failure at the moment and or a mistake. And, you know, also when Malcolm X was here, Malcolm X didn't deal with a bunch of anti-Black thinking tethers who were vetted by white America before they got here. Not vetted by Black America like the previous immigrants that came here unvetted and unchecked by white America and their agenda. That's why the people who came here, the Stokely Carmichaels, they're different. But you're talking about these other folks. And so what does Kwame, the resident Pan-Africanist, say? He says, since when did Black Americans have the same talking point as right-wing Republicans? And I'll tell you, Kwame, never. See, that's the thing. There is no talking point of the right. This is the talking point of Black empowerment. And number one thing of empowerment that you have to do to be empowered is identify your weaknesses, identify your problems, and identify your hangups and properly deal with those. So what we can't afford to do as our simple group is worry about everybody else as we begin to heal ourselves. You know, Kwame, it's kind of like when you're on the plane and when they instruct you what is safest practice for your you and your partner or company when you're on the plane is when there's trouble and the oxygen mask drop down out of the ceiling. What they instruct you to do is to first put on your mask. That is not a divisive action. That is not taking a stance against anybody. It is simply doing things in a proper order. So since when Kwame is doing things in a proper order and putting your mask on to make sure you are safe before you can safely help others, since when is that a talking point of white Republicans? See, you guys put a lot of this garbage out here in the wind and none of it sticks because none of it's true. My talking points are reparations. Never heard a right-wing white supremacists talk about that. We talk against white supremacy. We talk about ending white supremacy and replacing it with justice on this particular here channel. Matter of fact, hey, hold on, Kwame, because you said we use those talking points. Oh, well, here's one of the clips that gets ran on this particular broadcast. I would love to hear how you could explain this is white right-wing talking points. Take a listen.
We put it in the frame of reference. Everyone, when they talk about racism and white supremacy, should always start by saying that the focus, the objective should be replace white supremacy with justice. Those are the 5 basic words.
Republican shills would be speaking and boosting Republican agendas. What agenda are we promoting that the Republicans are promoting? See, you guys' argument falls very flat. Very, very, very flat. Hey, Kwame, I need you to do me a favor and give me some more equipped for discussion pan-Africanists, because you're really not ready. I need somebody who actually can explain something. I don't need a bunch of talking points and a bunch of labels. I need somebody to explain how something is something. You understand? So we had the one guy call up. We had Mr. Oh, man, I can't think of my brother's name right now. He called up, and a lot of y'all said that y'all suspect he's a tether. He said that before. Oh, no. See, yep. Okay. I was wondering. Thank you, Kwame. Supporting mass deportations and targeting Black immigrants. No. There's no targeting of Black immigrants by foundational Black Americans. That's a lie. Demonizing Africa. It's the backbone for right-wing Republicans' talking points. Really? How much do you actually see Republicans talk about Africa? I don't. Republicans don't mention much about Africa. They're not, as a matter of fact, what part of Africa has been mentioned other than South Africa by the Republicans? Tell me the place that tell me the one country of Africa that Trump has something negative to say something about. And not that I'm some kind of Trump lover, but if you're going to say you guys sound like Republicans, well then what in Africa is being disparaged by Republicans? Republicans every day want no. What are Republicans saying about Africans? See, that's the lie you get stuck with, Kwame. See, I asked him a direct question. That's why I said go get somebody who is better equipped to actually answer a question, because that's a clear-cut question. And Kwame, you're not equipped to do that. You just have the talking points as nothing else. Jonestown says Liberians are literally FBA. Are y'all this ignorant? Have you read a history book? Shaking my head. Well, let me tell you, Jonestown, Liberians are not FBAs. Liberians are from Liberia. How do I know this? Oh, one of my friends, his mother is actually from Liberia, and he is foundational Black American on his father's side. So if you follow me here and follow him and follow the actual true lineage of Liberians, they're African. And there were foundational Black Americans who interacted and married Liberians. This part is true. But are they literally FBAs? No, they're not. They're African. And they're very well aware of that. Matter of fact, one of the COs while I was upstate on my charge of shooting a white supremacist, one of the COs, he was Liberian. Now, I will tell you, there's most definitely some on-code Liberians, but do they know we're different people? Absolutely. So, hey, Jonestown, you're dead wrong, dude. And that's just coming from actually knowing. So I'm glad you brought that up, because I actually can speak from personal experience. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Thank you. Sybil, Black First, I appreciate you being here. Thank you, and thank you for being a member. Yes, indeed. Cult-like personality in the building. What kind of reasoning, bruh? You can give to a tether. There is no kind of reasoning really that you can give to a tether. That's the problem. That is the problem. Let's see. Jonestown. There was only 5,000 to 15,000 FBAs that went to Liberia. People forget the Caribbeans who went. Oh yeah, hey, Jonestown. Do you know how those Africans treat the Jamaican descendants of slaves of Africa? Do you believe they treat them as brothers? They don't. They absolutely don't. No, Africans that live in Jamaica, they absolutely look down on the Jamaican slaves. They also look down on Trinis too. And because those are smaller slave colonies. So those highfalutin Africans who they know are so proud that they have sold Black people into slavery. Yeah, that's something I was able to witness even out of the country. I witnessed that in Canada. So, you're just, all of this Tariq Nasheed nut riding that you're doing. You haven't seen me in a space or anything around there in like 2 years. And one of the reasons that I've kind of done that, family, let me explain this now, because I saw what was coming. So one thing I wanted to make sure that I do with this message is make sure that everybody understands this is a communal message. You cannot and you won't. And obviously you're seeing it's not working. It's, okay, for Jonestown and all of you other brain dead pan-Africanists, Essence Fest, you mean to tell me Essence Fest got the response it did because everybody's only listening to Tariq Nasheed? Is that what you really believe? You guys are ridiculous. Oh man, everybody. Ain't no ethnogenesis happened from 1865 till today. 1865. FBA, Liberians are Liberians. FBAs are FBAs. Now, if people went over there after slavery and intermixed, then there are Africans that there are mixed Africans mixed with FBA. You know, again, there's no. Oh man, see, this is my problem with these slow-witted imbeciles. LOL, the new era of pseudoscience with xenophobia. Where's the xenophobia? We don't fear any other group. As a matter of fact, xenophobia has to be actively against another group. When we're actively only focused on ourselves, how does that work? You know what? Get your ass up here, Kwame. You get your ass up here. I'm going to just take a real quick time to dismantle your bullshit ass argument, but you get your ass up here, buddy. You get your ass up here right now. Because I got to square this away. And you can't evade no questions here, buddy. You got to answer what I ask you. Now, if you give an answer, I'm going to let you speak. But we ain't doing that bullshit. Now, if you want to come up here and you want to answer for yourself, I will allow you to do so. All right, Kwame. He got a new profile. Good for you, buddy. Let's get Kwame on stage.
Hey, what's going on, King? Peace and ashe to you and your family.
Yes, sir. Peace to you, my good brother. Now let's hear what's going on with the pan-Africanists, because you keep doing the right-wing claiming. Well, first off, let me just give you my point of view, and I'll let you respond. Hold on. Okay. Because I don't want to even address something that's not myself. So as myself, being a foundational Black American, my family that is very big and historically tied to this land, we're absolutely not African. One of my relatives actually is the person who created the cordless telephone. And if you would look that one up, that would actually, because in my family, we actually literally call that indigenous. So I'm not sure how, and that's just a family thing. That's not a Tariq Nasheed, because you guys get so caught up on people listening to Tariq that you forget other Black people have this upbringing, and you just pigeonhole everything towards one dude. So as for myself, I can't tell you about Tariq's upbringing. I can tell you about my family. I don't even need to touch Tariq's. And so when we get to our position in America, all we are doing right now, and as for the person who, one of these persons who have pushed, just focusing on ourselves and healing ourselves, we've been in this country for all of these years and been nothing but abused. For some reason, you're calling it xenophobic or hateful for us to just simply focus inward on our particular group so we could heal after so many years of trauma from this evil beast. Please enlighten me on how that is xenophobic or hating anybody else.
Yeah, when you target a particular group or ethnicity.
I just told you there was no target.
I'll let you finish your point.
You can't lie.
Let me finish my point. I'll let you finish. I didn't rebut none of your claim, even though I disagree.
I didn't lie.
Okay, but you could respond after I'm done. Just like I gave you the floor. I didn't.
Go ahead.
This
is my platform, so of course you did.
Okay, cool. So when you target a particular group or ethnic group, that is literally called xenophobia. When you demonize them and make them out to be unhumane and everything that's pessimistic, that is a form of xenophobia. Maybe you're not aware with the defined definition. Maybe you should look up the defined definition. But that is literally
it's unnecessary. Because no. Let me just stop you right there, because you keep focusing in on and you're talking about something I didn't mention. I never targeted any group. What I just told you was we are focused on ourselves.
I'm not talking about you being anecdotal. I'm talking about
this is what delineation is about.
I'm talking about the consensus of people that subscribe.
There is no. I know the lie that you believe, but this
it's
is the agenda. No,
it's no
are you
lie.
hearing me?
I'm talking about
hearing? Did you hear what I just said?
I'm hearing it. That's
We're
your
focused
anecdotal.
on ourselves.
But that's not.
Where's there targeting anybody else?
Well, you could go on the other platform, the Alpha Elites, the black.
You mean Black Alpha?
Afro, yeah, Black Alpha,
Afro Elite,
Tariq
they
Nasheed.
both been on this program.
Yeah, Tariq Nasheed and these other groups that target Africans and Caribbeans.
Oh no,
and
no.
Basically, hold on.
Let me clarify something, because a lot of y'all get this problem here of meshing everybody into one. And no. If you're talking about certain groups that are not a voice of new black media, they are irrelevant to this conversation.
Okay, but I just gave you some reference points, and you could and you could check out their videos how they target Africans and Caribbeans and demonize them. Yes, they target when you say they use tether synonymously with black immigrants, and tether is hold on. Let me finish my point.
Explain to me tether. Explain. Do you know what tether is?
Well, the colloquial definition or the
if
dictionary.
If you're gonna cry about how it's used, tell me about how it's used.
Well, colloquially is used to refer to black immigrants, whether they're from Africa, or anybody. If your lineage, if somebody question your so-called lineage, they're gonna say, "Oh, you're a suspected tether."
What is a tether?
Somebody that don't agree with the FBA rhetoric.
That is not what a tether is.
Well, that's what they say. Somebody that undermines.
Don't. Nobody has told you that. What's a tether?
I had debates with Tariq Nasheed.
He didn't tell you that.
I had plenty
Don't lie
of debates.
on that, brother.
I had plenty of debates with different people.
Right, and none of them told you that. I know that for a fact.
Didn't say what?
They did not target any other group. Every one of them told you that we were focused on ourselves.
Yeah, and they also said we are getting rid of the tethers or the so-called black immigrants. Hold on. That's targeted.
What
that's
a
targeted.
tether is
somebody that they deem is undermining their FBA rhetoric and xenophobia. Somebody that calls out their rhetoric is considered a tether.
Okay, so now you're lying. So so let me clarify something. Okay, you said enough. So let me clarify what a tether is for real and honestly. Because see, this is why my problem is with you guys. You guys want to have honest conversations. A tether is a person who is here posing as one of us, someone from our lineage, which many have done. They get themselves in positions to talk for our collective, and then
I thought that's a cosplayer.
A cosplayer is a tether. They're synonymous.
Okay, somebody that quote unquote cosplay as a black American or whatever.
There you go. That's a tether.
Okay. So maybe the people that's using these terms, that's not even a real term. Maybe they should define these terms to their defined definition. Just by calling
But look at what you just did. You just labeled something that wasn't accurate.
How is not? We're both speaking from colloquial terms. What you're giving is not the definition. Okay. No, listen. What you're giving the definition of is not the dictionary definition of tether.
Did you see the movie Us?
No.
Okay, that's why you don't understand the reference of tether. So maybe
I go with the dictionary definition. I don't go with movie definition.
No. Again, no, we're not doing none of that. What we're doing is talking in reality and how it's being used. If you want to go hang your hat on this is the definition of tether, good for you. But how it's being used is and that's how you're going to interact with the people you're talking to.
That's how it's being used.
No. If you can't, no, it's not being used that way. It's being used as a person who is tethering themselves into our community, into our spaces, and then undermining our objectives.
Okay,
such as all of the Congressional Black Caucus. So let me ask you a question here. We got the Congressional Black Caucus. There is about 70% Caribbean, non-foundational Black American ties. That caucus does absolutely nothing for Black Americans, but fights tooth and nail for the rights for illegals and everyone else, but will actually actively work against reparations for the descendants of slaves in this country. That is a detriment to our people, and it is a disrespect to our ancestors. Why the hell should we accept that?
Okay, what is the Congressional Black Caucus is stopping, or give me some bulletin points that they are
when you have
stopping
70
bipartisan
representatives, 70% representatives that are in the way of any Black legislation going. We had the perfect example of the California legislative caucus that did the exact same thing. Don't get up here and start talking that.
So you're talking about a study for reparation that they blocked?
No, actually, this thing in California was actually moving toward payments. The study has already happened.
Which one? HR 40?
No, HR 40 died 3 years ago. So that's one thing they also.
So which bill is the Congressional Black Caucus?
There is no Congressional Black Caucus bill right now. They just.
No, I'm talking about what reparation.
Are you
or
listening?
what?
I just told you they let it die, and they didn't even mention it. We over here in the new Black media were talking about it, but of course, no one in the mainstream media mentioned it. So what I am telling you is when they actually let that bill die in 2023, January 1st, they didn't mention anything outside of it. However, the people on the ground, the grassroots, actually got active. Shout out to the people in California and CJEC, and then got all the way to get to getting it put on the table, and these the legislative Black caucus went in and blocked it. And to go even further, they were at the convention, at the Democratic convention. That's when they got the word to put the kibosh on our reparations. So let you understand what I'm telling you. We have tethers and pan-Africanists working with them people to work against our reparations.
Who's them people?
On earth? What do you mean? Who's
them people? I don't know them people. White supremacy. Well, FBA work with white supremacists, so
where?
I don't. Huh?
Where?
Well, Yvette Carnell, she works with white supremacists.
Who's Yvette Carnell to FBA?
She's not a FBA now.
What is she? What does she call herself?
Well, I thought FBA was a lineage.
What does she call herself?
She called herself ADOS.
Okay. So she's part of that organization.
So
is
FBA
she a foundational Black American? Yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying that like FBA if it's just an organization, then okay, then
no, ADOS is an organization.
Political. Okay, so FBA is a lineage, right?
Yes, but the descriptor of ADOS is describing the lineage, but that ADOS is an organization.
Yeah, so okay, well, Yvette Carnell is a FBA, and she vehemently works with white supremacists. She's funded by white supremacists. This already been discovered. So we know FBAs that work with white supremacists to undermine Africa or Africans.
To shit on Tariq by bringing up Yvette Carnell.
Well, that's your speculation. You just said Pan-Africans work with the man, and I asked you who's the man. You said the white supremacist. So I'm just pointing out.
You're not really pointing out anything. You're talking in circles. And see, you didn't answer really my question. So
I answered your question.
So we don't work with white supremacists.
You do. Yvette Carnell's an FBA. She work with white supremacists.
She's a person. She's a person of her group. I don't know what to tell you there.
So give me the collective of Pan-Africans that work with the government.
Back up, because now you're just playing silly games. The agenda of Black empowerment is the point here. Now, if anybody who is of our lineage is doing something else, there's entertainers that's of our lineage. They're not over here talking in this space. So what you trying to do is, well, look at this FBA over here. They pissing in the water. And look at that FBA over there. Ain't they FBA too? Come on, man. Let's be serious. And that's why I said, go get me somebody that really can explain something. Because
Okay,
what you're
what's
doing
that?
up here is just pointing. I don't need to hear.
What's
you
the
guys
FBA?
are xenophobic. You guys are this and you guys are that.
Well,
Wow.
you made an anecdotal statement. You said that Pan-Africans are working with the so-called man, and I asked you, who is this man? You said the white supremacists. You never named the
There's
organization.
okay,
You never
Polylink,
named.
Policy Link, Caterly, WDN, MacArthur Foundation. You see all these names on the screen?
Yeah,
There's some of them.
these are Pan-African organizations.
No, they're white-led organizations that are teamed up with Pan-Africans.
What Pan-African organization?
Jam, she's the distributor of all the other funds. You want to keep going?
Who you said? I didn't hear. Who
That
you
would be
said.
Jam, whatever the hell her name is.
Who is Jam?
J-A-M. J-A-M. I'm sure you see again. Then you do not sound ready for this conversation because you have not done your thorough homework, and you are out here saying this person's this person's that, and you're absolutely incorrect. You didn't even know what a tether was.
I'm asking you about the organization because I'm familiar with majority.
Organizations.
What Pan-African organization being funded by white supremacists?
What Pan-Africanist organization? I don't know. You would have to ask them. It's not like they put all of their ties in public conversation.
But
however,
you're saying it like it's a fact.
So let me back up then. Essence. Let's start with Essence. Essence is teamed up with the African Union. And the African Union is trying to claim foundational Black Americans so they could get more money, but they're not involving foundational Black Americans in any of the receiving of the money. That is usury, my friend.
So the African Union or the Pan-Africans are working with the government, but yet they're trying to claim FBA.
55 billion that they got. Yeah.
Okay. So what are they doing to undermine
from Joe Biden?
Okay, Joe Biden did what?
Joe Biden gave them 55 million, and now the African Union is trying to figure out how to create pipelines from foundational Black Americans' pockets straight to African businesses and elites.
Can you prove that?
I certainly can.
Yeah, so prove it that the African Union is working to pull money out of Black Americans' pockets.
Okay. No problemo. And thank you for coming up, Kwame. We'll get to that. Just keep staying tuned and go ahead and take your lumps. All right. So now, since I can get right into it, thank you for giving me that segue, Kwame. I appreciate that. So let's bring this system up. Let's see, where should we start? Oh, let's go here. As you know, I mean, none of us know what we're talking about.
On it, right? Because who they think they playing with, okay? So y'all know I was here and I just told y'all about this African initiative to redirect Black Americans $1.7 trillion, okay, of wealth, right, into the African continent.
Hey, Kwame, did you check that out? Did you just hear that, brother? Or do you think she's making it up and she got it from the white man?
But let me tell y'all how I just found where they bizzling at in government.
Uh-oh.
Because you know your girl be digging. I be digging, and I don't.
Oh, wait a minute, man. Did she find a pan-Africanist tether off up in the legislative sector? No, say it ain't so, Kwame.
I found this shit. Yeah, let me show it to y'all.
Uh-oh.
So this lady, okay, who's in the House of Representatives of Congress, representing California, and a Democrat, Sydney Kalmalerger, I don't know, I hope that's how you pronounce her name, Dove. She presented this bill right here, the African Diaspora Council Act. Here we go. And this was presented to Congress January 28th, 2025.
Why was there such a rush there, Kwame? Oh, I guess. Let me take a shot in the dark, Kwame. Oh, because they knew that this delineation movement was coming and they had to act fast before Donald Trump was inaugurated. Whoa. But I guess, I'm just, I don't know what I'm talking about, right? Kwame, you still here in the chat, brother?
Boy, I tell you, when we start digging, Essence Festa opened up a lot of shit, y'all.
Woo!
So anywho, the bill is to establish the Advisory Council on African Diaspora Engagement in the United States and for other purposes.
What?
So anywho.
Wait, other purposes? LOL, this is bad research. By actually showing the bill, that's bad research. Come on, Kwame. You gotta just eat the L, fam. You lost. Okay? This is not bad research. That's actually US.gov, my friend. No, you're wrong, friend. But it's okay. Maybe you need to rethink some things. Maybe you need to figure out, damn, this is kind of grimy. I don't know, but maybe you grimy like them. Maybe you like to be stabbing people in the back too, Kwame. I don't know.
Who pause and read that. It basically says that, into the African continent.
Oh, wait a minute. My bad.
African Diaspora Council Act. Opened up a lot of shit, y'all.
See that bill?
So anywho, the bill is to establish the Advisory Council on African Diaspora Engagement in the United States and for other purposes.
Whoa.
So anywho, pause and read that. It basically says that, the advisory.
Let's get that all the way on the screen so we can read that. Okay, so with this bad information and this bad research by actually going by US.gov, let's see what it says. The Advisory Council shall consist of why is my screen jumping like that? My screen is doing some weird thing. I'll try to get through it though. Advisory Council shall consist of not more than 12 members appointed by the Secretary of State who are representatives of and reflect the diversity of the African diaspora from African American and African immigrants communities, including individuals who have distinguished themselves in government, sports, creative industries, business, academia, social work, and faith-based activities. Appointments to the Advisory Council shall be made without regard to political affiliation. We know that's not true. The Secretary of State shall consult with the chairman, ranking member of the Committee on Foreign Relations in the Senate and the Committee on Foreign Affairs in the House of Representatives during the process of selecting representatives to the Advisory Council. So this is all about foreigners, my guy. Man, all that bad research, I'll tell you, man, the bad research. It's bad. It's bad research. I don't know. It's poor research. Methodology. I mean, what you said, and then you said how to prove it, and then here's some legislation, but that's bad research. You goof. Come on, Kwame. You want respect, brother? You have to be a man. Admit that you are incorrect here, friend.
Advisory board will consist of people who are very well known, right? Government, sports, creative industries, business, academia, social work, and faith-based activities. So they're trying to hit it from all fronts. They want people who are on this council that are of Black American descent, so-called African American, and African descent. Okay. And what they want to do with this, Advisory Council shall advise the President through the Secretary of State on strengthening connections between the United States government and the African diaspora in the United States, right? In advising the president under paragraph 1, the advisory council shall provide information, analysis, and recommendations that address the following: strategies to advance equity and opportunity for African diaspora community, including through efforts coordinated by the Domestic Policy Council under Executive Order 13985, relating to advancing racial.
Okay, so here, and here's the other problem with this, Kwame. Black America is against it. So here is this woman who is not from Black America. She is a tether who is putting forth legislation that is counterproductive to the Black agenda. Did you understand that, Kwame? See, right here is something against Black America. Now, I don't understand what you're talking about. Oh, we got another one here. We got another. Our problem is the lack of unity and organization. Pan-Africanism is more than sitting behind a computer insulting our African family worldwide. We build in nations. In America? Because you're not building them in your homeland. So where are these nations being built? Oh, here we go. Another Tariq Dick writer. The FBA has become the new mouthpiece of the Ku Klux Klan. Foundational Black Americans are Tariq Nasheed's xenophobic cult. No, we're just from a lineage, genius. Again, like, see, Kwame, didn't I tell you this is all you guys can do? Man, you guys did this. And the lack of unity. Where the hell was the unity in Pan-Africanism in the first place? There's no unity in Africa, so how the hell are you going to get it from over here? How does that make sense? Shouldn't they be getting rid of tribalism first? Matter of fact, why do South Africans deport Nigerians? Why? Oh, they say Nigerians have no respect. They act like they are above everybody else. This is on the continent, not even in the country, baby. We know who these folks are, and we not rocking like that. So to even keep crying about the whole, you guys are you're targeting Africans. Nobody's targeting Africans because we are focused on ourselves. Meaning we are only targeting foundational Black Americans. What you're having the problem with is we are not centering outsiders. Call it what it is. You guys make this lie about, hey, you guys are just hating on Africans. We're cutting off the faucets. We're not your damn mules. And that's what I also mean, family, when I say retire the mule. Because at the end of the day, this is how I see pan-Africanism. That's how it's always been. It's a one-sided thing. We help the world. We fight the world. We be the world's security guards. And when you are too weak and feeble-minded and feeble-spirited, because most of these tethers have the hearts of Twinkies, you run to us and then start whining and crying. I'm going to need you pan-Africanists to stand up on some manhood and stop crying about other men out here and the people that follow them or the people that agree with them. See, here's y'all's problem. You have an issue with Black America being on one accord. Maybe that's because we are children of the Most High and y'all are children of the wild. We understand we are different here. And oh, by the way, you guys may not know, most of us we understand we're Shemitic, we're not Hamitic, and Africa is full of Hamites. We ain't the same there, so I don't understand what the problem is. Go cry to the Israelites, but you're not. Or go cry to Minister Farrakhan, because we all understand who we are over here. From the NOI to the Hebrew Israelites, to foundational Black Americans, we are all on one accord over here. I don't know what to tell you about yourself. Notice how all of these sectors within our community are not beefing at all. We're not beefing with the Black church. We're not beefing with the NOI. The NOI is not beefing with the Hebrew Israelites. Everybody is in their own space, doing them. So when you see foundational Black American freedmen standing up, all we are doing is doing what we're supposed to, taking care of our business. And we don't have any collective business because we have been here for half a century. Our business is here with our own family. And I'm never going to disrespect my people here on this soil whose bodies have been used and abused and discarded in this land. That is a hell of a lot that needs to be honored before I can ever concern myself with the fictitious place of saying, well, Africa, this big, vast continent that no one has came looking to save foundational Black Americans from this hellhole of white supremacy. No, the only people on top of that to succeed at successfully fighting white supremacy are those Black Americans who stand right here today telling you it's FBA all day. It is freedmen culture. We are tied to this land before the white man got here and after. If you can't accept that truth, then stay the hell out of our conversations. Why are you so concerned with what we do? FBA was a term created, but when were the people created? This is where you guys get so lost. And this is why I look at you guys as pitiful. And it's a very pitiful showing that you guys have to say. Remember, my man had nothing to say when I pulled this out on him. Because Jam is a pan-Africanist. She is tied to the people who are tied to this African Union, making sure they try to get their hands on our reparations. That is severely grimy. We don't owe them people nothing. We don't owe Africa a damn thing. You got Joe Biden over here apologizing to Africa for Black Americans' condition. And those folks sat up there and ate it up. Them African leaders don't give a damn about us. Why do they argue like teenagers? Because that's where their intellect stops. See, when your philosophy is rooted in the foundation of your philosophy is deception, there is nowhere to go. That's why you see them just spew a bunch of repetitive talking points. They got nothing else. But hey, since I have you Africans over here, you guys, FBA is a term made up in this and blah, blah, blah. Well, you guys weren't even calling yourselves Black, but all of a sudden now you're telling that lie. But before I go on and continue on with this system, maybe let me play a little something for you pan-Africanists.
This whole philosophy of saying Kemet is the land of the blacks, you can't find it in any other African language. You find that it's people who come from a biblical historical background trying to separate from that biblical historical background, re-identify themselves out of that biblical historical background with the backdrop of a biblical historical background. We call ourselves abantu abantsundu. Now, untsundu does not mean black. We call ourselves abantu bomgquba. Now, umgquba does not mean black. We call ourselves abantu bomthonyama. Umthonyama does not mean black. We call ourselves bana batari. Tari does not mean black. We call ourselves bekethu. Bekethu does not mean black. We have always called ourselves by what we called ourselves. SingamaXhosa, Rebapedi, Mavenda, Mashangani. We never called ourselves by color.
Never. So whatever you call yourselves now is still not connected to us. Oh, pan-Africanism is dead, boy. Dead, dead, dead. And it's a scam. It needs to be gone. It never was real. It was always fictitious. Always fictitious. You realize Africa is also the governments of exploitation and oppression, right? Anyway, let's finish this, and then I'll get to the other part to where we can get to that.
Equity and support for underserved communities through the federal government. Now, we don't know what programs that would be, so we would have to watch that because they could play around with that a little bit to divert funds away from Black American communities. It's all in the language. Ways to support the United Nations Permanent Forum on People of African Descent. Okay. Programs and initiatives to strengthen cultural, social, political, and economic ties between African communities, the African diaspora, and the United States, such as the Young African Leaders Initiative. What? A Young African Leaders Initiative? Look, they taking their global domination shit real serious, y'all. Real serious. I hope y'all peep what they doing and picking up what I'm putting down. Okay, this ties into what happened with the Essence Fest. They were trying to basically push their culture forward by doing it through our culture, which is basically what that paragraph right there kind of states.
Oh, whoa. That's a lie you guys like to tell, but that's not how freedom works, buddy. And, you know, that whole, until Africa's free, then free yourselves. Stop kissing the white man's ass over there. We over here, we not kissing his ass. You see how these folks is over here crying? Yeah, you never slaves. I mean, your people, you gotta let it go. My family didn't own slaves, but your family sure called and told where the runaways were. See, us over here, again, you know, you can't talk that shit to me. I've shot a white supremacist. Like I said, I spoke about that. That's how I know the Liberian when I was doing my time behind that. Because even self-defense in this wicked system is not self-defense when you're the black man and he's the white man. Although they knew that, you know, he already was the big suspected white supremacist, and I don't suspect it. Doesn't matter. There's a brother sitting down in Oregon, somewhere in Southern Oregon right now, fighting this time. He needs to be released. He needs a pardon. Because he ended up not losing to a suspected or proclaimed white supremacist who was in the process of trying to commit a hate crime against the brother. And like I said, the brother didn't lose. And so now he is the one prosecuted. So when y'all come over here with that weak shit about you white man, shut y'all bitch asses up. Nobody is doing any of that. That's some weak sauce shit that you guys cooked up in your own little weak ass minds. I'm from the West Coast, partner. We test bouncers out in this bitch. I don't know what y'all on, but y'all on some weak talking point bullshit. And y'all sound like hoes to me. Just be quite honest. But a lot of that shit come from the East Coast. No shade on the East. But you can't talk like that out here. Because y'all be on it. Man, white man, you're going to have to stand on that. You might get slapped in your mouth out here saying that to the wrong person. We don't sit up here and fool with them folks like that, you punk ass nigga. That is not what we do. You know, if you don't like me saying the N-word, well, too goddamn bad. Let me just tell y'all something. I'm really sick of this pan-Africanist shit, because all it is a fraud. And it's, do you see these policies? Do you understand what they're trying to protect? These are policies that they're enacting against us behind our back while using us. That is overtly grimy. That is super duper duper grimy. You're going to sit up here and, okay, so we'll use Black Americans as our protection, and then we'll go get on their spaces and start talking shit. How does that work? Shabaka? Shabaka? Shabaka. Boy, you got that Hebrew name. You just added an A to it. Technically, it'd be Phoenician, but it's still Hebrew. Genius. My God damn, y'all stupid. Well, y'all be thinking y'all so educated. Y'all y'all fell for some educated hustlers and con men. I bet you probably a polite fan, huh?
Try to address challenges and opportunities to advance inclusion, belonging, and public awareness of the diversity, accomplishments, culture, and history of the African diaspora.
Okay, so did y'all catch that? Do you see what Kwame and Shabaka over here trying to do? And this is their agenda. Hey, Kwame, you still there? You still there, pal? This right here just said what they doing. That is backdooring Black America. Who's targeting who now, my guys? Shabaka and Kwame. Do Black America have legislation backdooring Africa? African diaspora does not include African Americans. Not on the receiving end, only on the using end. We're not listed for people who are being received. You better go look at Nigeria right now for the visas that they allow, and you don't need no visa to get over here except for two groups. One of them is South Africans. Guess who the other one is? How does this bill targeting African family? Anybody else want to come up here on stage and educate this moron on how this bill is doing that? The link should be in the chat. You guys are in here. Somebody want to come up and enlighten my man? Because I don't have to be the only one in here and getting all this roasting in there. Somebody come get them some if y'all want a piece of this. If not, how is this helping Black America? Are you're using? So, okay, that's a real offender type of question, actually. That's kind of an offender-like leaning question, to be on the honest side of it. When you actually point out that somebody is trying to get something done behind a group's back, and then you turn around and say, how is that targeting you? Are you smoking crack, Kwame? What's wrong with you? And Chewbacca, you, sir, are a coward. I bet you will not give up your citizenship and move to Africa. You already know. Nigerian does not offer there is no country in Africa that has open citizenship for foundational Black Americans. Not one. But they want to get money from us while using us. But we don't have access to the capital or the equity here. So see right there, you just screwed up, buddy. No, this is third world conning. That's why pan-Africanism is dead over here, because of shady shit like this. See, we see the con artists in our midst now, and we're calling it out. This is a con artist move, partner.
Y'all know that don't include Black Americans, because Black Americans got a Black History Month. So we know it don't.
See, did you just hear that part, Kwame? See, we know that part doesn't include us because we already have Black History Month. So that is trying to use our culture and our vehicle and our energy to steer money and funds, including ours, to Africa, leaders and African elite. Did anybody not catch that part? No, dude. It's very clear. There's no dual citizenship and nothing applied. There's nothing that's open and free. Stop it. Ghana, eligibility. People of African descent living outside the continent. People of, no, those are Africans who can return. Now you're lying, man. Come on, Kwame, the family. So when you see that, this is my problem with these pan-Africanist liars. It's not people of African descent. Well, I mean, they might use it that way, but it's actually African citizens. We are not that. We are not living in Europe, living in the country of our colonizer. That is not what we're doing. African Americans are African descendants. Then why aren't we on CARICOM then, Kwame? Why aren't we included in CARICOM, Shabaka? FBA is not struggling for nothing but crumbs from oppressor's table. Pan-African warriors want more than just the bag. We want the unity and liberation of African people. And we're going to do that by letting the Chinese man come over here and whip us on camera. And then we're going to let these white men come over to our villages and sleep with our children. Man, we coming up, man. We don't know nothing over there, you FBA people. I mean, man, I'm finna go shit in the street. What you know about that, buddy? Show ass out here.
Try to address challenges and opportunities to advance inclusion, belonging, and public awareness of the diversity, accomplishments, culture, and history of the African diaspora. Y'all know that don't include Black Americans, because Black Americans got a Black History Month. So we know it don't include us. It's once again trying.
Yikes.
To advance them. Peep this one. Programs and initiatives such as the International Visitor Leadership Program to expand educational exchange programs between Africa and the United States. They trying to get more people over here, y'all. Programs and initiatives to increase public and private sector collaboration.
N1. The FBA man from 70s to 90s is dead. There's no fight in him. Don't unite with him, Kwame. You bitch. You pan-Africanist pussy. Y'all sit up here. Y'all are not the writers. I don't know what y'all be talking about. No fight in him. Y'all the wussies. Y'all don't never mention, there is not one pan-Africanist that ever calls out white supremacy. They just call it out as a whole. We call out the people and the players. Y'all punks don't. Y'all some absolute pussies. Sit up here, get on the internet talking hella tough. Y'all ain't putting foot to nothing. Punk ass, weak ass niggas. Again, like I said, I already put one through a supremacist. Y'all ain't on my level, pimp. So shut that weak shit down. N1, you ain't got no fight. sick of you hoes. Anyway.
Collaboration and community involvement in improving the socioeconomic well-being of African diaspora communities. You see how they sit up there and they sprinkle shit in there. Y'all see how they doing it. Programs and initiatives such as Prosper Africa to increase participation of members of the African diaspora in the United States with regard to trade, investment, economic growth, and development programs relating to Africa.
Oh, hey, you weak sons of bitches. That means that they are using my people. So stop with that fake lie, telling people that we are sitting up here. Yeah, FBA isn't fighting white supremacy. They're fighting Africans and Uber drivers. That's actually kind of funny. Because I'm sure you smell like cheetah pee. Anyway, let's continue.
And then it also says and adds real quick, like, such other topics the Secretary of State considers relevant. What? That's vague. That's vague. So anywho, there's that. And what does that all tie into? Right here. They had this meeting, 2023 Diaspora Initiative looks to tap into 1.7 trillion African American, which is really Black American, purse.
That's a hustle. That's a Kwame. Oh, you know what else you could call that, Kwame? You could call it targeting. Targeting. That's what that is. Michael Smith. Oh, y'all on fire in the chat today. Chewbacca. You sound like you came straight from 1974. I bet you smoke cool cigarettes and drink Billy D with your militant Michael Evans ash from Good Times. I know that's right. Boy is a white racist word. The exposure of the pan-African grift is a beast. You see these niggas in here crying? They flee. They fled. What you say? How you gonna say somebody fled a state running for the white man? What are you kidding? Poster child? How can FBA be the poster child for running when we're in our homeland? You know how dumb that sounds, Kwame? Tell me you ran out of gas without telling me, brother. This is why most of these guys aren't stupid enough to try me. I've been trying to get one of these dumbasses to pop out the woodworks for years. But thank you guys, because it's not very, your handlers, you guys must be low on the totem pole. Because typically speaking, they know to avoid me because, shit like this happens. You come and spew what you're saying, and then in the midst of you saying it, you literally see me prove what I was talking about and that you're full of shit, Kwame. I've heard actually now that you went to other people's spaces. So what you said, yeah. So who are the organizations that are taking money? I hope you all caught that, family. Did y'all catch that? He's asking, so who are the organizations? You want to know if I'm going to name the one that you part of? See, this is another problem with these little young, weak punks, these little green boys. They don't have no street sense. So they think they talking smart and then they have how do you know they ain't got no street sense? Because then they start saying that people say this on the internet. Oh, you guys are horrible. We didn't flee our country. Your parents fled theirs. We're different. We stand and fight. You flee and scam. You japa.
Yeah, they all bizzling all over the place. We gotta watch these folk, y'all. We gotta watch these folk. Because this is what they do. Just like with Essence Fest, they try to make it seem like it's something. Make it seem like it's something that involves us, but it's really about them.
Yep.
It's really about them. And they got these dang pan-Africans, okay, and Democrats trying to push all of this shit forward. Try to push all of this shit forward. Because what the fuck? You don't have a leadership program for Black Americans. Why the fuck are you sitting up here trying to bring these folk from across the waters here talking about some leadership exchange? For fucking what?
Right.
Anywho.
Boy, pan-Africanism caught it on the chin again. Yeah. It's one of those nights for you guys. Actually, it's going to be a long, hard season for you guys because, we are paying attention to you weak pan-Africanist scammers. And, if it wasn't for Essence, you guys need to blame Richie Lou. Stop blaming Black America. Go blame Richie Lou for letting the cat out the bag with him being such a bad con artist. He believes his own hype and he believes his own bullshit that he could go on the Breakfast Club and think that he can get on a radio and fool all of America. That failed miserably. Don't know how he think he did. I'm sure he's probably like, oh, I killed it. Okay, he killed it all right. Richie did not save Essence. Richie is a plant. You want to know how he's a plant? Oh, well, let's look at something. Okay. Guys. Nobody came ready today. But me, I guess. So let's take a look at here. What do we have? What do we got, Kwame? Let's go back up here. See, boss. The Black experience in business. About. The Black experience in business explores the history of African-American entrepreneurship. Full episode now streaming. See, this is a little film, and see, they actually were promoting it. See, this is how you do. You see, have all these foundational Black Americans, these freedmen. There's one of our banks, right? Okay, that's connected to the descendants of slaves, not tethers. Let's continue on. The history of business and entrepreneurship lies at the heart of the American story, but often absent from the narrative are experiences of African Americans. From the country's earliest days, African Americans have embodied the qualities of innovation, risk-taking, and determination to forge a path toward a better life. The new 2-hour documentary traces the lives of African American entrepreneurs over 150 years, from those bound by bondage to moguls at the top of the million dollar empires. See, that right there is the little quick sleight of hand problem that we keep talking about as well. That's why we have delineated from Africa. But I guess that's probably why you guys are crying and complaining, because, if we delineate from Africa, then how can all of your fake ass backstabbing legislation go through against us? Hey, one of the commandments is thou shalt not covet. Tethers. God don't like what you're doing. So But, you guys align yourself with the children of Satan. So I guess. Because let's just, be clear here. This is a Democrat agenda against foundational Black Americans. Why is Essence in with an agenda with white Democrats against Black America? Shabaka? I would like to know, Shabaka. Why are they actually doing things against Black American, Shabaka? You doing all of this typing in my chat. Why don't you answer for your people? It's a Democrat agenda. Why are pan-Africanists with Democrats? We just proved that, so don't get up in the where is that done at? We just went through it. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Directed by Peabody and Emmy award-winning filmmaker Stanley Nelson. Tell Them We Are Rising. The story of historically Black colleges, Black Panthers, vanguard of the revolution, Freedom Summer, Boss, the Black experience in business, shines a light on the story of resilience and resistance within the Black American experience. In the face of racial hostility and violence, economic exclusion, segregation, and discrimination. I would like to now take the time to point out how this little particular phrase is exclusionary to one group. Only one group. That's Black Americans. Add foundational on top of that, then yeah, it's pretty much what you get. Now, let's see what we got here a little further down, though. What we say here? Lying together the past and present. Or I'm sorry. Boy, I had tethers on my mind. I just thought lying. Tying together the past and present, Boss, the Black experience in business, explores the inspiring stories of trailblazing African Americans, foundational Black Americans, entrepreneurs, and the significant contributions of contemporary business leaders. Stories featured in contemporary business contributions. See, what they keep doing is talking about the foundation and then keep throwing in those later in life tethers to come along who benefit off of our actual work here. So there would be no leaping point for any of these people, not Richie or any, if it wasn't for Black Americans, the foundational Black Americans, the freedmen, the descendants of this slavery in this country, to which Richie Lou is not. Let's see. Stories features film including entrepreneur Madam C.J. Walker, publisher John H. Johnson, Motown CEO Barry Gordy, and business pioneer and philanthropist Reginald F. Lewis. Among others, the film features the new interviews with Vernon Jordan, senior managing director of Lazard Ferrers and Co., LLC, Kathy Hughes, CEO and founder of Urban One, Ursula Burns, former CEO of Xerox and chairman of Vion, Ken Frazier, chairman, president, and CEO of Merck & Co., Inc., and then Richie Lou Dennis, the place tether by the powers that be, founder and CEO and executive chairman of Sundial Brands, which completely decimated the Harlem theater. Good going. Robert F. Smith, chairman and CEO of Vista Equity Managing Partner, LLC. Earl Butch Graves Jr., CEO of Black Enterprise, and John Rogers, CEO and founder of Ariel Investments. The only the people who are legit there they really spoke to that actually built something in America, Richie Lou, you can see his pedigree really does not fit with theirs at all. The Democrats, are you smoking crack in one? And notice what N1 is talking about. So you guys, I guess he's going all in. At least you're not gonna deny it. But this is my point. Pan-Africanists talk so much about the white man and y'all are teaming up with the white man. And here you are. The Democrats will be the only ones to give you reparations. Y'all see this? It's only gonna be the Democrats. Matter of fact, what's wrong with the Democrats? This is coming from a pan-Africanist, folks. What's wrong with the Democrats? What's wrong with them? I don't know. Hey, what do you guys think about this particular statement from Dr. Martin Luther King? We know nothing about Africa, although our roots are there in terms of our forebears. See, that's when everybody says, yes, in some ancient time, we most definitely have ties to Africa in an ancient text. But I mean, as far as the average Negro today, he knows nothing about Africa. And I think he's got to face the fact that he is an American. His culture is basically American. And one becomes adjusted to this when he realizes what he is. And we are foundational Black Americans. See how that works? In the meantime, pan-Africanists are trying to find comfort in hanging around people like this just because they say they're Democrat. You guys are fucking idiots. Jesus Christ. What's wrong with you? Oh my goodness. These guys are awful. But again, like I said, thank you guys for participating, because most Pan-Africanists are kind of sharp enough. Oh, stop. I'm neither Republican or Democrat, though. Well, my broadcast and the channel is named the Independent Black Voice. You still came in here talking about how we're siding up with the right. That's what your buddy over here previously said. So miss me with all of that. I'm not either or, miss me. You're a liar. That is what you are. we can get that much. Now, let's see, let's go in here. There might be a little more that I want to show. Capitalist system emerged in the United States. African Americans found ways. Okay, as a capitalist system emerged in the United States, which that capitalist system would not exist without the free labor of slaves. So that actually should be worded as capitalism developed from the free labor of the slaves in the United States. Black Americans found ways to establish profitable businesses in numerous industries, including financial services, retail, beauty, music, and media. One thing I want to stress right there is that was all done in-house. No foundational Black American needed any outsiders like y'all do. Out of Pan-African, until everybody united. There was no need for unification. This was actual production. Why is that not in the continent? Why aren't we seeing that like that? Oh, it's the corrupt, it's the government. Or you see, it's the government. The government is, they don't care about the people. What can we do for you then? Because anything they're trying to, okay, prime example again for you brain dead Pan-Africanists, this agenda that they're pushing right now for this Africa cash grab, this Africa grift of Black America, you know, that little move right there, that is very backstabby to Black America. Sybil said, apparently in one, you have no clue, have an African curl his lips while curl his lips while he has two Beckys on his arm. Oh, whoa, wait, what? I have a Jamaican nurse practitioner. She fails to schedule my labs and gave me a coloring book. Pan-Africans, are you willing to put your money where your mouth is and renounce your American citizenship and move to Africa? Or is Pan-African movement all talk? Well, let's see. Did the Pan-African answer? No, of course he didn't. Of course he didn't answer you, Michael Smith. FBA is a podcast cult that Tariq stole from someone else. I'm not going anywhere. My job is to educate and inform African worldwide. Well, then let us know what African we are. What country do Black Americans come from and belong to in Africa? Since you're going to be doing all of this educating. Go ahead and put that in the chat. What name the country that Black Americans would belong to? Did you really just say this? After I get off Section 8 and food stamps, I will renounce my citizenship. A goosey soup on this keyboard. I will say, there is a gang of you tethers. Well, no, I can't even say tethers. Just Africans. Y'all be out here moving so nervously now. Ain't nobody out here looking to do nothing to you. They're like, I don't even understand that concept. All that we are doing. See, that's the thing that you guys do. But again, this is why, family, why they are so bent out of shape. It's not because their feelings are hurt. We're disrupting the money. Anytime you see legislation going on out here, that's about the money. That ain't got nothing to do with their feelings being hurt. They're just using all of these gaslighting talking points as, oh, well, yeah, this is what they're going to do. See, look, here again, African Americans have played, again, that's Black, that's us, have played a central role in the history of American business. But their stories are often left untold. Of course they are. This is a system of white supremacy. That's what this country is about. Now, let me show you this. Because this is something that I found very interesting. Let me get this up. Oh, ad free. I don't want that. Get this out from the top. Why is this on my screen? Let me get this off. Okay, share this to Admin State. This is from the Business Insider. And this is from July 23. On June 28th, 2020, an anonymous group of women who said they worked at Essence magazine published a letter on Medium accusing the company of fostering an unhealthy work environment. The company launched 2 independent investigations which could not substantiate the claims made in the letter. Some employees felt like their concerns were not taken seriously. 20 former and current employees spoke to Insider about their experiences working at the magazine. Despite changes, some remain unsatisfied with the company. Oh, don't go now in one. Oh, no, contraire, mon frere. See, you can hang out with this one. I mean, if you wanted to come up and defend the shit you say, the link is in the chat. Don't expect that out of you, though. Let's keep going. I'll skip down to that second paragraph. The Essence brand promise is fraudulent. The once exalted media brand dedicated to Black women has been hijacked by cultural and corporate greed and unhinged abuse of power. Yeah. Strength through unity of a foundational Black American nation. Everybody else needs to get their shit together before they bring it to us. We are not responsible for anybody else's unity. And the one thing you have to respect in one Kwame and Shaka, or whatever the hell your name is, Shaba, We are unified. And that's more than you can say for that continent you're talking about. So before you get over here trying to talk about us, respect the fact that we are unified. We pay homage to our ancestors here on this land. We honor the dead with furthering our legacy here in America through our families, making sure our history stays intact, making sure we protect all of those things that come from our culture, because our culture is a combination of many different attributes that happen right here in this land, not Africa, not anywhere else. African American. No. What, don't ask us where it is. You guys are Pan-Africans. Where the hell is it? Where's the Pan-African schools? Y'all have you Pan-Africans, you guys sell books and all of that shit. FBA has Diddy in their lineage. Do you really want to do that? Do you really want to do that? Come on. You know, your bushmeat is ready. Oh man, let's look at some more. See, fraudulent and a cultural and corporate greed. What's cultural greed? I think we've already witnessed what cultural greed is. And so let's keep going. The letter said that leaders at Essence fostered an extremely unhealthy work culture, rife with pay inequity, sexual harassment, corporate bullying, intimidation, colorism, and classism. One that began when Richie Lou, the beauty mogul behind Shea Moisture, bought the publication in 2018. That culture changed with Richie Lou, and Black women were immediately being disrespected, disregarded, and even a woman, a Black woman, an FBA woman coming back from maternity leave after she had her baby was pressured to quit her job by these tethers. Because you do know Richie Lou's entire staff are all non-FBA. And then you tie him and what he's doing with this African Union. That's a problem. And then also you have this legislation going out from a person from California, the same woman who's also out here trying to do backroom stuff against reparations. If you ain't for reparations, miss me with that Pan-African horse shit. Reparations, let me hear y'all say that shit. Well, you only gonna get reparations for the Democrats. Why is a Pan-Africanist saying that to me? Does that make sense at all, family? Why is a Pan-Africanist saying what we won't get from a political party versus the other political party? What? Y'all sound crazy. Y'all sound super duper loony. And I don't know what makes y'all think we don't see y'all for the idiocracy y'all have been investing in. Shaba. Mr. Ugly Man. Mr. Ugly Man. Shaba. Champion liar, gonna make you feel all right. Champion liar. Champion liar. We having fun tonight, family. We will not be live this weekend, so I had to come and get it in. I had to come get it in tonight. And I knew a few bushmeat eaters would call up. Dave, you guys, you just follow Tariq Nasheed. I don't understand why you hate Africans so much. You Akatas. Futureers. Because we are not unified people in America. Oh, you can hold that shit. No, we see when we're family over here in America, we ain't got no time for that. And you just spewing a whole bunch of nonsense. Let me point my fingers and whine about another man like a biatch. That's another thing I really wish y'all would stop doing. Stop talking to grown-ass men about another man. Man, y'all just listening to what Tariq Nasheed say. No, ho, I'm talking what I'm saying, you punk-ass nigga. You hear the words coming out my mouth, biatch? I can say it for myself. I don't need no another man to speak for me. That's what real manhood is over here, punk. I guess you didn't know. That's why y'all sit over there and hide in the little solitudes. You don't show your faces, and you sit up here and bitch and moan about another man all day. And then you cry and whine about a creative culture that you unfortunately don't have any part of. And so you're mad and you cry and you whine like, yes. And you say, you guys, you're hurting my feelings. She must be working for the CIA. You guys are working. You're doing a white man's bidding. My feelings are hurt. You big bitches. Can't stand none of you hoe ass niggas. I'm serious about that. I really do not like that. Because these are scammers, and they come over here talking to real dudes like we don't see that. We know you ain't shit. We can see a scammer from a mile away. Got no choice but to return to your homeland. I have let's get to stepping. Hey, Kevin Martin, you know what? And that is a perfect segue. For all you pan-Africanists and everybody who don't like FBA, let me tell you what you can do. We got a plan for you. And you can always know that we're going to celebrate you like today is your birthday. Although we know your birthday is January 1st. Hashtag fire up the jet.
Happy birthday. We're celebrating you today. Like Dr. King holiday. We ain't gonna do any work today. Happy birthday today. It's your beautiful day. And we gonna party all day. Like it's a freaking holiday.
Uh-huh. Get on like you've been shit on, you know? Y'all Joppa ninjas need to Joppa back home. For real. Don't they though? Mr. Power Tool in the building. They better recognize, unlike them, we don't fear white supremacy in America. Which reminds me, family, let me say this before we get to the end of this broadcast. My conversation with that brother, and I'm talking about Mr. Max. Is it Mr. Mac? I believe. Something he was doing, and I wanted to let it ride because I wanted him to convey his message to the people. But something I don't do as a man, I don't talk scared. I live in Portland, Oregon. I don't give a shit about what these people talking about. I walk in, my partner told me, he's like, man, you don't realize the type of energy and power you walk into a room with. I know the blood that runs through my veins, and I know my dead family members be rolling over in their grave watching me, act accordingly. And for most of y'all who have been in spaces with me or been around me at all, this is why I call these pan-Africanists pussies. Because they nothing like us. They are not built for nothing other than crying and whining, bitching and moaning. And they'll probably go out and do a space and be like, all those new black media guys, man, all they do is just listen to Tariq Nasheed. No, bitch ass nigga, I'm Beatzilla. And these are my words talking to you. If you don't like it, just don't go back and say, so when he listened to another person. No, this came out my mouth, you hoe ass, trash ass nigga. Can't stand them hoes. Somebody might listen to the replay, be like, damn, why is he going so hard on the women? No, I'm talking about dudes, y'all. I'm talking about dudes. And yes, y'all, and a lot of y'all be hiding y'all moistness and weirdness and shit like that. So, people let it roll. But listening to the different things that we have heard coming down. What do you say? America is on the decline. The dollar is dying. And FBA going down with the white man masters. The black man own nothing in America. What you own, Kwame, is smarter. The FBA code. That didn't really make sense when you're actually calling somebody smarter, but whatever. That's the whole shit I'm talking about. That's all you can really do. You got about as much oomph as Nightbot here. Jeez. And the whole white people crying, the white man is such a bitch ass up. You guys cry about something you ain't gonna bust a grape about. Y'all ain't stepping in no white folks. There's no pan-Africanist going checking the white person nowhere. That's foundational black Americans with that pull-up shit. Not you weak little bastards. No, you too busy over there trying to look in the mirror and pose and be like, man, look at this red, black, and green. I look hard today. So let me go get me a toy gun and go march out here in front of these folks like, yeah, see, I'm black and I got a gun. And don't you worry about me, because if you mess with me, oh, it's going to be trouble, because I'm coming to town and I'm going to let everybody know that I ain't fucking around. That's all we can expect from y'all. Y'all red, black, and green. Let's go get the gun and let's go march in front of the white man. Oh, we ain't going to bust a grape, but we're finna go and show the white man that we got guns. Come on, y'all. Come on out here and let's make a spectacle of ourselves so every Fed and CIA agent and every foreign actors can all get a bead on who all of us are, maybe even actually, like NFAC was doing, let's get the guns and register those guns through our actual little, I don't know what you would call them. You could have called them a cult. Ooh. Oh, but something was wrong with us when we were calling him an agent. Yeah. But let's get out there and let's show them with the guns. So everybody can go see Black Americans. And you got some numbskulls out there like, yeah, that's a show of force. What? That is not a show of force. It's a show of idiocracy. Everybody in America got guns. You don't see none of these militias running around doing that bullshit. You'll see the posers. But like the real militias, that's the people you'll see at the gun shows. None of them folks is out there in the streets protesting. They sitting over there practicing. So, that stuff they show y'all believe what y'all saw on TV. Boy, y'all more cowardly than I expected. Oh my God. Never listen to no pan-Africanists. These dudes are cowards. Just listen to the way they talk. They have no nuts. They're not ever talking like this is how we're going to stand. They always talking about, man, the white man going to come do this and the white man going to get you. They the most cowardly, shiftless coons on the planet. I guess they figured if we just get a bunch of black dudes in a room, we'll look cool as long as we over here talk. Yeah, 'cause we black and black man and all the way back to the motherland. The motherland, brother. That's where we need to be. You know, we need to worry about being black. And we need to be worried about unifying with the brothers over in Africa. Because once we get to Africa, brother, see, and everything is going to be unified, and it's going to be all glorified, global Wakanda, see. But what we need is the brothers over in America. See, the American brothers need to come on over here to Africa, and they need to join and just give all of their resources over to the Africans. And then the Africans will actually be able to further the diaspora off of the dollars in the backs of the foundational black Americans. But see, brother, what you're doing right now is counterproductive because you're helping the white man because you're not coming over here letting us eat off you. Get y'all con ass out of here. Goddamn con man.
Your mind is not blown yet, baby. So I messed around and asked ChatGPT, right, about the mechanisms. What mechanisms is the African Union planning on using to get money, the $1.7 trillion buying power of African Americans to their countries? Because I don't understand. How are you going to get our money? What's going on here? And then I asked, does Rich Lou Dennis, the founder and chair of Essence Ventures, is that one of the things that he's doing? And this is what ChatGPT told me. Yes, it absolutely seems like Rich Lou Dennis, the founder and chair of Essence Ventures, is putting in place exactly this kind of mechanism, mobilizing African American economic power to fund and foster long-term partnerships with Africa. Essence Full Circle Festival and Global Black Economic Forum. Since 2018, Essence Ventures has hosted the Essence Full Circle Festival in Accra, Ghana, a cultural meets economic summit uniting hundreds of U.S.-based black business leaders, influencers, and African officials. They had a global black economic forum that focuses on trade, diaspora investment, entrepreneurship, and infrastructure deals. These events create structured pathways such as conferences, masterclasses, and deal-making tables to funnel African American investment, tourism dollars, and commerce into African economies. Strategic cultural economic partnership.
That's not an economic partnership. That's economic exploitation. Essentially, family, what that means is the Africans are collaborating with the white American United States government to undermine foundational black American claims for reparations. But not stopping there. No, on top of that, some of that buying power should actually be shared with Africa, I guess Joe Biden thought. So we're giving them a $55 billion down payment. Here are some other strategic plans on how to siphon money out of Black America, not to undergird or build or help Americans' wealth, but instead have a one-sided affair of them just being able to siphon money off without foundational Black Americans, number one, having a say, number two, receiving any equity. This is a global diaspora grift against foundational Black Americans. And that's why you're seeing these people come out so heavy-handedly, but they don't have any point. And when you start seeing these guys talking in circles like this guy here, just understand the only reason why they're talking in circles like that is because they can't talk the truth. And this is the truth. They are looking to financially undermine, because Africans believe Black Americans are supposed to be the permanent underclass. So again, Africans once again selling their souls to the devil to undermine the righteous Black jewels of the Most High here in America. Pan-Africans, eat a dick.
Essence Ventures has since expanded partnerships with African governments and institutions, most recently in 2024 with Nigeria's Ministry of Arts and Culture to co-develop initiatives under frameworks like Origins and Destination 2030. Their chief
Destination 2030. And then their other reparations get up is trying to make sure that they get our reparations. There ain't no unity in that. That's a grift. Oh, but Tariq Nasheed in the court. No, sir. Tariq ain't got no legislation. Tariq don't have no legislation against Africa. Tariq don't have no legislation trying to get money from Africa. Tariq don't have that. But the pan-Africanists do. The tethers do. Can we talk about that? Oh, the American dollar is going to fail. The American dollar is failing so much that the Africans are depending and hinging their futures on it. What's wrong with you guys? I mean, are you that lost, or are you just paid to just say bullshit?
Their chief of diaspora engagement, Barku Tubman Zawolo, is actively building systems to scale diaspora capital flows into Africa.
Wow.
According to Business Wire. And then they give this table. Y'all looking at this table now, right? It says, so the mechanisms are going to...
Hold on. Let's see what that table got to say. This ain't the clearest video because I wanted to make sure it played okay. You can't really see it, but it say events and forums. And it's literally, see again, hey, Pan-Africanists, if they had it popping so tough, why do they need Black cultural events to get their shit popping? That's the one thing. We didn't ever need anybody to get anything popping. Why do they need us? Antithesis support. Out here support. Now, I appreciate that, good brother. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yes, indeed. I'm assuming the Pan-Africanists had to go run off to their Tariq Nasheed hate space. But anyway, let's continue listening.
Through events and forums they're going to hold, summits in African cities, introduce investors to business and investment opportunities. Diaspora mobilizers, staff like Zawolo, coordinate diaspora pipelines for investment and engagement. The government and cultural court partnerships, agreements with countries such as Ghana or Nigeria, fast-track initiatives, tourism and trade, media and commerce, Essence Magazine, and and festivals promote African goods, travel, and business opportunities to the United States.
Wow.
It was always Essence.
Wow.
And we were right that it was turning, quote unquote, Africanized. Everybody was saying that. And now people are talking about, no, I know it's not. Yes, it is, because they just said to promote African goods.
Family. And this dude literally sat up in here like, no, man. Who's trying to take advantage of what? No. Yeah. And when they actually got, you tried to go through the legislation to backdoor foundational Black Americans. No, man. That ain't cool. That is not cool at all. This is so deep. They're like, Pan-Africanism is done, man. I need a Pan-Africanist to explain why this is okay. This is war again. This is an act of war against foundational Black Americans by tethers. So you're hiding your hands, but you can only hide your hands while working with other governments. So don't come at us talking about all of this white man bullshit. That's y'all. Because we ain't got no legislators going over there talking on our behalf. They're doing the exact opposite. But now we see why. They got me in the matrix. There we go. Hold on. Mute. Okay, I don't know what that's new. I don't know what this is. Why is this all of a sudden put me on mute? Glad I figured out what this little problem was. Don't know why it's happening, but at least I figured it out. Oh, okay. The scam Africanist is still here. Capitalism is dying. Capitalism depends on the theft of the white man. His empire is falling. The white man will have FBA fighting our brothers for his paper dollars. I am African. Hey, African, did you just hear what I just played you, dude? How is Africans over here grifting off of us okay? You understand? But you ain't got no answer there. But let's hear a little more of this.
Goods, travel, and business opportunities in the U.S. Now, let me continue. Investment in tourism funnels. Okay? Organized group trips, master classes, pitch sessions, and travel offerings drive real economic exchange. So, yes, Essence Ventures is actively attempting to channel part of that 1.7 trillion African American buying power into Africa using a deliberate and expanding ecosystem of cultural events, meaning our own events, business summits, and government alliances. It's not a one-off charity.
Government alliances. Hey, Shaba, why are pan-Africanists and tethers signing up with other governments and then trying to use us? Oh, I know. It's because these Africans still believe we should be treated like slaves. You guys might want to go talk to your African buddies before you bring and push this pan-Africanist bullshit on us. When we're looking at these people do this thing right here, they're trying to utilize us as slaves. By proxy, through this program funneled through the United States government. Y'all are full of shit. Anyway, that's all I'm going to play of her, and I'm going to play one last video coming from Dr. Martin Luther King. We need to get this audio off up in here because I need y'all to hear this.
Poverty of the spirit, which stands in glaring contrast to our scientific and technological abundance. The problem is, my friends, that we have learned to fly the air like birds, and we have learned to swim the seas like fish, and yet we haven't learned to walk the earth like brothers and sisters. Racial injustice is still the black man's burden and the white man's shame. So wherever we live in America, we have to face the fact honestly that racial discrimination is present. So don't get complacent. Certainly we've made some strides. We made some progress here and there, but it hadn't been enough. It hadn't been fast enough. And although we've come a long, long way, we still have a long, long way to go. In 1863, the Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery through the Emancipation Proclamation signed by Abraham Lincoln. But the Negro was not given any land to make that freedom meaningful. And you know, it was something like having a man in jail for years and years, and then you suddenly discover that this man is innocent. Go to him and say, now you are free. The man's been unjustly jailed for 35 or 40 years, and you just put him out of jail saying, now you are free. You don't give him any bus fare to get to town, no money to buy any clothes, no money to get something to eat. This is what happened to the black man in this country. I can't limit my concern to the middle class. I can't limit my concern to this particular situation where a Negro comes and says, I'm the first this. I'm just tired of the first Negro. I want some seconds and some thirds and some fourths. The civil rights movement has to address itself to this, and the nation has to do it. You see, we are such a rich nation and affluent nation. We often don't see the poor. There are some, you see, most white people can't see the poor because they live in the suburbs. And then they get in town in these big cities on expressways. They don't know nothing about Watts. They've never been there. They don't know anything about Huff in Cleveland or the west side or the south side of Chicago or Harlem. They've never seen it. And they allow the poor to become invisible. And a lot of Negroes, you know, who have somehow sailed or floated out of the backwaters or the muddy waters, and they've kind of been able to ease out into the fresh flowing waters of the mainstream, have forgotten the stench of the backwater. And I
Yes, indeed. Wait. Let me see.
I was hungry, and you fed me.
Okay, now let me play this other one.
60 Minutes. Rewind.
Negro in the United States turns against nonviolence. I'm going to stand up as a lone voice and say this is the wrong way.
I will never change in my basic idea that nonviolence is the most potent weapon available.
That's not what I wanted to play. That is not at all what I wanted to play. No. Let me find it real quick. This is important. And this will be okay. There we go.
Believe in yourself and believe that you're somebody. As I said to the group last night, nobody else can do this for us. No document can do this for us. No Lincolnian Emancipation Proclamation can do this for us. No Confronting or Johnsonian Civil Rights Bill can do this for us. If the Negro is to be free, he must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with the pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own emancipation.
you do understand one of those things about that self-proclaimed Emancipation Proclamation is taking ownership of how you are defined, taking ownership of what you call yourselves as a community. That is the fortitude that it takes here in America. Mm.
Be proud of somebody said earlier tonight, we don't have anything to be ashamed of. Somebody told a lie one day. Which they made everything black, evil. Look in your dictionary and see the synonyms of the word black. It's always something degrading and low and sinister. The word white is always something pure. But I want to get the language right tonight.
Wait, did you say you couldn't hear nothing? You can't hear nothing. You might want to turn your volume up, because I see it's being registered.
I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful.
Damn, he didn't say African American and beautiful. He said, yes, I'm black and I'm beautiful. Not to be confused with Africa. Not to be confused. Did all the rest of you hear that speech? Did all the rest of you hear that? Let me see something. Yeah, that might be on your side. You said the speech is muffled? Okay, let me do something real quick. I just need to play this last part for you. So hopefully, let me see.
Be proud of our heritage. Somebody said earlier tonight, we don't have anything to be ashamed of. Somebody told a lie one day. They couched it in language. They made everything black, ugly, and evil. Look in your dictionary and see the synonyms of the word black. It's always something degrading and low and sinister. Look at the word white. It's always something pure. Ah. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful.
So essentially what he was saying is we don't have anything to be ashamed of. And he basically predicted that there would be the emergence of what we now call ourselves FBA, because these people would take the internal cue and say, we are no longer going to be bound by your labels. Black people in America have been called everything by outsiders, and that's been acceptable. One thing that people have trouble with today is Black America identifying itself. And look at what they do. Oh, we don't like it. Oh, we don't like it. Oh, you guys are xenophobic. How is us labeling ourselves anything xenophobic to another group? That doesn't even make logical sense. But they repeat it so much that I guess they would believe it would come true. And then Essence Fest happened. And the reality of what you see on your screen is the ever true and holding reality to the difference between our movements and a tether's. Because what you see on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, is from October 16th, 1996. The Million Man March. And for stupid one left and other people like that say, hey, what's Dana Wall said about reparations? Do you see what's on your screen, genius? This was a march on Washington for reparations. That's what the Million Man March was about. For those who are unaware or too young. But that's what was going on this day. When you see all of these people out here to see the minister. Since then, all of these other fraudulent leaders have taken money to betray our agenda. And so they also aligned themselves with AIPAC. They allow the ADL to label black people whatever they want to without any kind of pushback. And never once demanded an apology for our community from Joe Biden or Bill Clinton. Although Bill Clinton did apologize, Joe Biden, Mr. Proud of his bill, never did. And Joe Biden wrote that bill with Strom Thurmond. So for you brain dead lames talking about you only get this from the Democrats, you don't know American history well enough to be talking to me, and you're too young. Matter of fact, I'm only going to argue with somebody who is old enough to have found out some of their family secrets. Did y'all hear me? I don't argue with kids. If you ain't old enough to have learned a family secret, that person actually don't belong to that person, but belongs to this person, that type of stuff, you too young to talk to me. I ain't arguing with your little young ass. You ain't learned life yet and don't know that the things you thought you knew might not actually be what you know. But that's just the era of youth now, isn't it? So, in closing, Pan-Africanists, you have some answers to give versus pointing your fingers. Why are the people you're supporting and promoting backdooring Black America and trying to get, and you're this grease palms going on behind closed doors, and you're trying to sneak in legislation through things that's supposed to be Black focused, but they're only Black targeted so you can siphon the money and send it to another country. That is like America saying, hey, Africa, we stole all of these niggas out of you. You probably could be exploiting them too. Tell you what we'll do. We'll cut you in on their exploitation. How does that sound? Man, you know, it sounds pretty good to me. Yes, we will send our Essence man. Yes, he will go buy Essence, and then we will take over their culture. And we will have these meetings that we have had since 2018. So we will get it, and then we will go take over the culture. And at the same time, we will start rewriting history. Are y'all noticing? Pay attention. The rewriting of our hip-hop origin also coincides with this same time frame. You feel me? So family, anybody coming at you talking about, you hate and you're xenophobic? Absolutely not. And here tonight, we was able to prove to you the con. I'm sure there will be more voices of the new Black media being able to come and present the truth to you and expose this backwards, backstabbing ass con that they are trying to run against us, family, and that is an act of war. Period. So to all of you grimy tethers, and you pan-Africanists especially,
you shouldn't have been talking shit.
Babylon is fallen. Babylon is fallen. Let it fall. And let us rise. Can you dig it? Now, this will be very short. Because for all of you tethers, tether adjacents, tether supporters, and pan-Africanist brain-dead Negroes like Shaba here and Kwame and is it N1 earlier? Well, I can make this real simple. I speak for myself, beatzillapdx official. I speak for the independent Black voice and those of these good, fine foundational Black American freedmen in my chat, the Black grassroots, and the voices of new Black media, because I know I am certain I speak for all parties involved when we proudly dedicate this song to you buffoons.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Yes, indeed, family. Y'all can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket by supporting this channel, you can do so at CashApp $beatzillapdx. And we also have PayPal, which is Zilla Music. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. So, with that being said, we are about to get out of here. But before we do, quick PSA.
So if any Black people want reparations
and want to stay a star, and don't want to have to worry about
tethers,
trying to be all in the videos,
speaking for Black people,
dancing,
come to New Black Media and the Black Grassroots. Peace.
Always remember why they hate us and why they are mad.
It's a cultural divide. I'm going to get it on the floor. 40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music.
And for all of you grimy tethers and pan-Africanists around the world, and also thieves of my phrase here, hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
Yes, indeed. Oh, Lord. So, family, this will be the only live, I believe, this week, because I got other stuff going on. So there will not be a live this weekend, at least not at this point, unless something changes. But don't plan for live this weekend. So we will be getting out of here this evening on the old school weekly wrap-up tip. And this will be the long outro for you guys who like that. So, one thing I can tell the family, always make sure that you keep your three smooth stones at the ready and your slingshot nearby. Because there might be a tether or idiotic pan-Africanist waiting and lurking to jump out on you for them people that they so adamantly try to say we serve, but then turn around and say, well, you ain't gonna give reparations if you don't mess with Democrats. Yeah, we ain't got nothing for them folks. So for foundational Black American freedmen, y'all stay Black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, Black first, Black first. Shalom, y'all. Have a blessed week. And hey, all of you tethers and pan-Africanists, remember, eat a dick.
When you know who Satan is,
Yes, sir.
you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. See, that's what you throw.
Right.
Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.
Thank you.